This podcast is brought to you by Hurling Chartered Accountants. Hurling Chartered Accountants are based in Galway City and are a leading provider of audit, accountancy and taxation services. For more information, visit hurlcharteredaccountants.ie. In part one of the show, I'm now joined by former St Thomas's hurler Sean Skehill. Sean, Thomas is back in another county final. Always nice to be back in a county final, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a nice place to be. At the end of the year, you train hard all year, and it's nice to actually have something to look forward to at the end of it all, and for all the hard work that's put in over the year. Like so, it's nice to be back there again now. So we'll hopefully now get it over and done.
How are you as a supporter?
Uh, I'll be very hot. It's a hard transition there now to go from being actually involved with the lads every day to actually looking at it from the sideline side of it. Like I'm actually literally in the stand watching every bit of it, and I'd be sort of watching the ball for a bit of it, and I'd be watching what lads are at on the other side of it. It's just it's a bit of a transition for me there, but it's nice now. As I said, I know the lads through very well, so it is I kind of know what they're at and where they're at as well. When the lads might think they're playing bad, but they're actually doing something that I'd see and no one else would see it. Like so, it is be interesting to see now what we come up with on Saturday, but I wouldn't know. I have no backroom information anymore at all, so it's all new to me.
The club's fairly on. Momentum is behind the club. I mean, in one sense, you consider what your under 20s did earlier in the year, what your juniors did as well. Like Everton's going in the right direction so far this year.
How it is, yeah. What the under 20s has achieved is mighty. Like to be fair to them, it's tight on numbers, and it's a small club, and like what they achieved there. Cahill is the manager actually. So it is nice to see what they're doing, and even the junior A's there. We've been competing with junior A for the last 10 years, I'd say, and just always coming up short. But this year they were brought in a few lads there, Robbie, Gary Green. There's Justin was there with us back in 2012. He knows us all as kids, and it's nice to see lads that are coming back from senior playing a bit of junior A, and as I said, it's great for the young lads that were there in the 16s, the 18s, 19s, 20s to actually go out and win their county final as well. And a lot of them stood up, and I was delighted to be looking at it and a part of it. To see the young lads actually getting medals and getting actually playing in a county final. There's a lot of them there that have medals, but they wanted to play and get one, and so it's nice to see that as well.
It's particularly special if you consider for maybe some of the younger players on that junior A team because it is very difficult to even get into this senior team and unfortunately it's probably just with the caliber of players you have, some players just haven't been able to break in there yet.
Yeah, there's that side of it too, but there is a lot of lads that did come through. I remember a few years ago when I was, let's say, coming to my latter years, like you'd see it there. You had Evan, you had Oisin, you had Victor, you had all these young lads there that were thereabouts. But it was just to get that final push, but when they got their chances, they take it, and it's all about when you get a chance, you take the chance. So there's a few of them there now that put their hands up the last day in the junior A as well. So it's tried to get the way it was working out. You're the final after the semi final. It was kind of, can we play one? Can we not play one? But at least now it's all available for selection on Saturday for Cahill. So it's kind of good. Like a lot of them did. Like the junior A was a hard old battle, but like as I said, they're always there supporting the seniors, and every one of them were there training again after. Like so, it is like they're all there. They're a good group. Like they're a great group of lads. To be fair, to be in part of them and joining them before, like it's nice. It'll be nice to see them all get hopefully over the line on Saturday together as well as a collective.
It already shows the strength of both of these clubs, doesn't it, to have the second team in that junior A final, obviously, both playing it in the senior final this weekend.
It does, yeah. Like even like Loughrea, like there's the minor as well. They're they're a serious outfit. And they have the facilities, they have everything. They have the hurlers, they have the men, they have the management, they have the right structures in place. And they are as you can see, with their fair competitions to be competing with, and with a lot of bodies. So as I said, it does tell us all really, with the two teams between having two county finals within 2 weeks of each other. So it is but it's as I said, it'll be hopefully a good day out for both of us now. But there can only be one winner, so we'll see how that goes.
Uh, Obviously, your first county title coming back in 12, you've 8 county titles to your name. There's a chance this weekend to overtake Athenry and Moore in the Roll of Honour for St. Thomas's. I've quite often probably asked this question a lot on the podcast, but what keeps these bunch of players so hungry to keep coming back year after year?
They just love playing together. Like as I said, a lot of lads could go training and be giving out about going training, but our lads nearly go training for the crack of going training. Like, there's good crack. We were training there for the last few weeks, with, as part of the junior A squad as well. But like, I kind of missed it really when you'd be injured that you're not going training, or that if you weren't around, you're working away, or like the crack of training. Like when you're having good crack, it's like everything. You'll always go back. Like you'd always give it one more shot, like just to have a bit more crack. So like the lads there, like the likes of Regan, Connor, like Shane, like there was a lot of training put into the bodies, like, and they're still willing to do it. Sure, just look at David Burke, like, sure, he's more miles on the clock than an old 92 car, like, so it's, it's a true testament to themselves, really, like, that they're willing to stay giving it that one extra push. They always get it, like, as I said, it's nice to see them all there on Saturday now again, like I know last year but all them things happen. But sometimes you kind of have to lose as well. You can't always win it. But as I said, it's nice to be in them, and when you're in them, you have to win them. Like they're not there for they're not there to be messing around with. Like you take the chance, as I said, when you get a chance, you take it, and that's it.
You mentioned there the crack and obviously the close bond in the club, obviously a lot of families as well. Do you think that's what's, I suppose, made Thomas is so successful?
Yeah, well, it likes a lot of lads there on that group. David, Connor, James, Bernard, like we're all together since we were under 12. We were playing no Joe Gillan tournament there under John Burke, and when we were only kids, like, and we've been together there since like, even if we weren't training or hurling together, we still always meet up with each other, like, and like the lads are still there. Like if any one of them would meet you for a chat or a coffee, they're always there. Like it's kind of we'd be very friendly on and off the pitch. Like we don't just not see each other just because we're not training, but we'd still always be with each other as well. So I'd like the lads are there's a close bond there, and to bring the young lads along with it as well. It's a nice thing to do and be a part of it over the years as well. It's because that's the way we were brought on, like with the likes of Robbie, Enda Tan, Kenneth, and all these lads, Richie. We were always there, and that's what makes it really. Like as I said, when you get on, you kind of it flows free the hurling. Then like how you know exactly what you're going to do. You know how like you miss a ball, there's always going to be someone there that's going to just you'll drive you on for the next one. You'll always have that, but it's nice to be a part of it as well. And the lads like they're the most experienced lads out there really when it comes to it. Like they have a lot done.
If someone told you 8 county titles back in 2012, do you begin to pinch yourself when you see that?
I didn't really never kind of really dawned on me like as I said when we won the first one in 2012, we went on won the All Ireland. That's fine. But 4 years later, we got to another one. Do you know what I mean? If you told me that, I would have like Jesus. I didn't think so, but we got bet the following year after we won the All Ireland 13. Right, it was tight semi final, but I was after 16. Then it went to 18. Do you know what I mean? So there's times gap there as well that we didn't fill them, or do you know what I mean? Like, but a lot of things come into play too. You'd have injuries, your legs gone away. You'd lads going bodybuilding, Bernard went bodybuilding there for a year or two. Do you know, you'd a bit of gap like that. So it is it is nice to look back on it and say that we have to have them, and it's all about getting more though. It's get what you can while you have the chance. And as I said, if the lads get another one, then they're well entitled to it. To be fair to what they put in for it, like so.
It, it was referenced quite a lot last year when you're going for that 7 in a row, obviously to match Peter's Wells record, and obviously it just came up short. Do you think that crosses the mind? Because Sarah Farrell often references when he won that one against Moore that it's the first thing David Burke said to him.
Oh yeah, but sure, that'll be only a bit of crack too. Like
Yeah.
that serious commitment for that now, like 7 in a row. That's fair going. Like it's a different time too. Like like when you're hurling that time, you could have been killed on the pitch. Like but All right, look at it, as I said, like it all depends. Lads are different what drives them on. I know when I was part of it and there, you're just driving it on just to win it for the lad beside you. As I said, I presume the lads will be the same way no matter what. It isn't about how many you have, it's about what you get when you have the chance to get it too, like, So that wouldn't probably be coming into their heads at all. No, they're just thinking about Saturday evening, 6 o'clock inside in Pear Stadium, and that's it, like.
It's incredible in one way. After coming up short last year against Captagal, they're back in another final this year. Cathal Daly's obviously in charge. He's taken over from Kenneth. Has much changed, do you think, from Cathal taking over to Kenneth now?
Carl brings a different era to it as well. Like, he's been there. He's been there since 2018 with Kevin, I suppose, and I've dealt with Cahill a lot over the years as well. Like, Cahill has his own outlook on the game as well. I was involved with stats with him when he was with Kenneth as well. Like, everyone, Cahill would spend nearly the first half up sitting beside you, and he'd give you a book as big as the New Testament to write about stats. Like, and you wouldn't get to watch the match at all with him. Like, but the way he looks at it, he looks at every outcome and every possibility. Like, he sees the game totally different to the way we kind of see it. He's watching for Everton. But like as I said, what he's done and like everyone was saying last year, we lost. All right, we lost, but that's fine. We just you get over, you get back on the horse again, like you do it again. But the way he knitted everyone back, like it's very easy to give up after last year too, after losing the county semi final. Like it's a lot of lads could have said goodbye. It's what they did and Carl got them all back in there together, pretty much the same. Brought in Trevor Fletcher there, Robbie's still there. Like it's just it knits them all back together again, and there we are, trotted along through all the heavy rain, whatever training we had to do, and that was it. And like it's fair play to him like for what he's done as well, like to get back to a county final. As I said, everyone thinks we're kind of an aging team, but we're still there. Like it's just it's one more, like it's one more, and it's a game, it's another game, like.
What have you made of the year so far? Obviously, victories against Gort and Mike Cullen got over the line then against Athenry. Larkins, it took obviously a late goal there and probably looked their best the last day against Crowell then.
Yeah, as I said, like the Athenry game, it kind of showed like that with a few bodies down, and you kind of you look at the game like it could have went either way. Like we won it for a finish, but Athenry were just thereabouts as well. Like but the Tommy's game, I nearly forget the last 5 minutes because I was on red in the face. I didn't even want to look at it, and I just see the way they pull through. It's just that the later minutes of the game when you find a way to win. You'll always remember how to win a game. Like you won't, no matter what. Like it doesn't come into the head at all. Like there's no point looking at the scoreboard with 2 or 3 minutes to go. Like because if you're looking at it, you're going to miss the ball. Like it's a simple way to look at it. But you see them there when they go into the stadium. Like to see David operating the midfield there last day in the stadium. He looked like a 25-year-old abroad it. Like, it's like it's just a kind of nice place to be as well. The lights factor, right? It was a bit cagey, but still, it's all elements of surprise. Like you could go out Saturday and it could be a gale. You could go out it could be lashing rain. You don't know. It's all on the day too, but you kind of have to. You play the game like as you play the game you want to play it. You know what I mean? As I said, it's just to see them all in the stadium again. It's a different like it was unusual. Normally you'd always play your semi-finals in Athenry and you get your final in Pear Stadium like it's what, 2000 so against Turlock. That's the best game. The county final we played in Athenry, but to see the boys now getting 2 runs at Pear Stadium, like you play your semi-final and you get your final in it, like and even for Loughrea as well, it's probably suits because you're not going into the big cauldron and worried about Jesus. There's a lot of lads looking at me, but sure, a lot of lads looking at you, but it's hard enough to see too. It was on the lights, but there's plenty, there's plenty, there's enough eyes watching it, everyone, anyways. So we'll see.
What is it, Sean, you mentioned there about Thomas's finding a way. Nothing's really changed since I suppose the last decade where you've just been the experts at grinding these games out.
Yeah, so like as I said, you never panic really, like be it two, be it three, be it 4 points. I think we're 4 points down there 1 year, and 3 minutes left, and we came back and actually stuck it. But it's like I said, the lads. no one's going out to let each other down either. Like they're always there for each other, no matter like even for against Tommy's there, like they're a fierce one, hard luck, like but for Connor to get the ball and have the vision to lay it off, do you know what I mean? And then for Victor to actually take it on and nearly get blocked down. But that's all I was looking at. But like, do you know, it's I suppose it's just the way it's kind of the way they are really like they have to you don't want to lose like you want to win, you know, as I say, if you get the chances you have to take them, when the chances come you need to grab it like with both hands, like, so
It's a
that's the way they go about it.
it's a testament to the squad this year, though, isn't it? The way Darren Farrell's come in, Evan Brady's come in. We've only seen James Regan come back in there in the semi final. Damien Finnerty has been coming off the bench. It's a real testament to the squad, isn't it?
It is, yeah, to be fair to all the lads, like they all put in the same amount of work. It's great to see the young lads coming. As a lad said to me before when I was a young lad, it's always if you get the one or two, and if you keep one or two coming every year, you don't need 10 or 11 because you've too many then. One or two keeps the whole keep everyone in check, and you know, like every lad knows, like if you're not performing, you're not going to be left on either. And if you're not starting this year, you could be starting next year. Like, you know, it's the way you have to look at it too. Like, and as I said, if you're willing to put in the work, you'll get the reward. Like, you know, so like the lads there, like Damien and all them, other teams would love to have them. Like, you know, it's just the way it works out. Like, what you have to put out your best team. Sometimes you can put out your team and change your team. Like, it's always your best team is what you have from 1 to 30, 1 to 35. Man, I think Manny's going out and win it. Number 31, he's back there for one game when he came on. But like, you have once them lads are there and they're willing to do it, like as I said, no matter what, if they come on for 10 minutes or 5 minutes, they're still going to try and give it the same output as a lad was out there for 50 minutes, you know. So that's credit to them as well. The way Carl has them driven as well to be able to do that is a major thing as well.
Victor Manzo really seems to be like a player who's starting to enter the goal conversation now with his performances this year and the way he's been able to finish goals.
Yeah, he's a serious threat though. I'm marking that I know a few times, Lord Jesus, you'll be well reddened when the time you finish running after him anyways, Lord Jesus. But no, Victor went away there for a while. He had a bit of time away from himself, you know, after the semi-final last year. Done a bit of travelling. It sort of seemed to reset him, like, you know, the way like he's lethal inside there, like, you know, it takes a lot to mark him, like, you know, the way he's able to read. He's and a lot of lads saying he's small. In a lot of games, he's plucked balls clean out of the sky over cornerbacks, like, and I've been watching that, like, and I was like, you know, you kind of line him up to hit him, but you do well to hit him, like, he'd be gone, like, you know, if you give him the chance, he'll take you on, like, and it's kind of great to see him do that as well because there's not many forwards anymore that I always kind of pick up the ball, run out to the corner flag nearly and try and shoot it over their shoulder. Like Victor picked that ball in straight in the eyes, he's running straight at you, like, and it's really he's working well inside there, like with the boys as well, like Evan, any high ball that comes in or a bit of wrestling, like everything there, like they work well there as a group as well together, you know. So it's nice to see that as well.
It's how low he gets the ball too, though, isn't it?
Oh,
The
sure, he's
way he
nearly
can just
taking
go to
passenger.
ground, like,
Yeah, he's turning on him there the last day. Like he turned above the sixpence.
yeah.
Jesus, like he was very good now the last day, like, but as I said, hopefully he can match that performance, if not better again, like, but you need it as well. Like the boys will be going out marking, they won't stand off you, like going by my experience anyways, like they wouldn't stand off you. So you can't give him room, but the way he's playing now, right, yeah, he's on form. He's a player on form.
Obviously, crucial players then in Finton, David Burke, Connor Cooney, Shane Cooney, Aina Burke captain as well this year.
Yeah, it's nice for Ryan now, to be fair. He's playing a long time, and you know, as I said, everyone we all know we can go on about tennis players there, Federer and all them, but should look at the best player relationship if you want to see them go Saturday evening and watch Anna hitting the ball, like. Um, no, it'll be nice for Anna now too because he's given a lot, like, and considering a few elements of surprise there a few years ago, but no, Anna's a credit. Like I've heard, like that is a man that will leave Everton on the pitch no matter what. So he'll want every bit of that game to be played through his hurl on Saturday evening because it's just the way he is and the way he goes about himself on the pitch. Like he's an absolute credit and even he's exemplary to watch. Like for any young lad hurling, just watch what he does and the way he moves. Like it's just he's a fair old detail, to be fair enough to him. Like, and it's nice to see him as a captain too. You know, he always was a leader, even when he was only 17. He was a leader. Like, so it's nice to see him get his chance and get his reward. Hopefully.
As a supporter, is it nice now in the build up with Loughrea even supporters heading into this one? Obviously, a lot of the Thomas's players in Everton would have went to school in Loughrea and Everton.
Ah, there is, sure. I even had a bit of work today. I landed with two lads giving out two Loughrea flags to me, like, and I was just the crack is there, so the crack that side of it. I used to never see. You'd always be told staying out of the place for a week, don't go out at all. John Burke would tell you not to talk to anyone. He wouldn't even tell you to talk to no than father wanted. But just the way like that always there because we're so close. Like if you went in for diesel, you'll meet five or six lads that you know, like you know what I mean. So it's like you can't divide it. If they were a bit further away, you'd maybe try and divide it. Like we might go to God for the next few days shopping instead of going to Loughrea, but like you'll always have that. But like the lads, like a good few of us, we went this Kilcrease, we went in school in Loughrea, and the lads from Peters, like well, Peterswell would have been school in Gart, like, but they still every lad knows each other. You know, the Galway Championship, like you know every single hurler that's gone out before you take the field anyway. So it's just the way everyone's watching everyone, like so you know them as well. So it is. I don't know. As I said, it's not like they're not used to each other either. Like they had two goals at each other already. You know that 2022. So um, they're still pretty much the same, really. About the one or two maybe.
Is it different now facing up to Loughrea, given they've got over the line this time, this current group of players? Obviously, 2022, you've seen it was very tight, but Loughrea coming in now as this one against Thomas's as reigning champions.
Yeah, so that led it. That's they'll be going out not wanting to lose. Like they're going out to retain the title. Like, and we're going out to try and get the title. So they won't give it up too easy. Like either, you know, it'll be a fair contest. Now I can see it. Like it's just a you know a Saturday evening. It's going to be a cracker. To be fair, I'd say no. It's very tight. Like very tight.
Yeah. What have you bet them so far this year?
I've watched them right. Yeah, I've watched them a few times there now, and like they kind of just tipped along, like, but still got through. Do you know what I mean? Tipped along. They're like the Mike Cullen game. Do you know the Crawley game? I was at that game, and I was like, they still showed signs of a good team, but didn't really show you the full hand of cards either. Like you know, so it was kind of like you can go out and if they wanted and try and beat everyone by 10 15 pints, like, but that's not it's scaled back. There's a hidden card in the deck there, like you know, and that's what I'm watching as well. And like to see them like Clanbridge, that game, Clanbridge were on top, like, and they still just fought back, clawed back, tipped away, and you know, won the game when it came down to winning it, they won it like. And as I said, the last day against Turlock, they swarmed them like, and Turlock didn't know they couldn't handle them. The way they transitioned, they're like tactical, like they came up, brought their forwards out, they just swarmed midfield and just they ran the ball like so. Um, there is the factor there that they are a different animal too now, and you know, as I said, they've got the semi final over them in the stadium, and now they're going to the county final in the stadium again, and like they'll probably want to up the performance even more than what they would have brought like to be a semi final, you know. So as I said, it's very tight, and it's just be interesting to see what way they line out as well.
Would this be one of the sweetest ones when you consider last year losing the semi-final and to come back and win it this year and maybe even with it under, I suppose, new management as well?
I told you, sure, anyone you win is nice to be sweet, like to know to be fair, like to know it's as it'll be nice to see the whole lot of the group there win the county final together because I think they deserve it. To be honest with you, I've trained with them there a few weeks ago, and like I've seen what they've done. Even there's a night of a storm there, and the pitch was like a swimming pool, but we still trained in it. Like you know, it's very easy to say, we'll go home, we're going to ball. Well, no, it was out in it, and Robbie had the boys out in it, and he kept them in tune as well. You know, to get out and nothing's going to phase you, like so. It will be nice. It'll be nice for Kyle. It'll be nice for the boys. You know, the younger lads there on the crew as well, just to see it. Like, because any lad that joined last year probably nearly disappointed because it was the first year in a long time that he never got a chance at the county final. But now every lad is there. They're getting a chance at it there now Saturday evening now, so just go out and make the most of it and win it hopefully.
I know we mentioned it at the start, but there's some players here who've been involved since 12 that if Thomas is there to be successful Saturday night, it'll be their ninth county medal.
Yeah, no, yeah. When you look at it like that, it's if you told me that now in 2012, I'd probably start laughing at you because that's yeah, that's testament to the way they are now as well. That there's a lot of work put in for that though. Do you know what I mean? It's not just they don't come easy um like the boys have suffered over the years too with injuries and stuff like that for some of the lads as well, you know. But still to get back on the horse again and go out and do it again, like sure even look at Finton's injury there to start the year, do you
Yeah, I
know,
was
like
just about to say, isn't it? It's great to see him
that's
back playing, isn't it?
that's incredible. Like, but that's you know he wants to go out there and play, but for the boys, like and like it's just that's just nuts altogether. You know, it's
Yeah.
you told me that now, I'd say no bother, I'd stay away, no problem at all. I'd sit down, don't know if I'm going out training that, like, but Jesus Christ, yeah, no, but sure, Finton, different animal altogether. Like, you know, he. I remember when he first started, came out, cornerback beside me in 2015. He used to get sick before every match. He'd be so nervous. But you look at him now, he's a different animal altogether. Like, you know, he's really taken to it. Like, and even there now, the few games under his belt has stood to him a bit too. Like, you know, when he first came on there against Athenry, he only got one ball. He was shaky enough under it now too, but like he's coming his own there now as well. Like, and even Keane tucked in beside him there now again. Sure, you know they're inseparable really. Like best of most days, but they're back beside each other again now Saturday. So hopefully they'll be able to keep it going out the way and shit in the way. Like so, that's their plan, I suppose.
If you're to call this one, Sean, how do you see it going Saturday evening?
Jesus, I'd be calling it, but it'd be tight. Like, but I I have to go with ourselves, like, you know,
Yeah.
and that's the way I always will be. But it'll be tight now. It'll be tight. As I said, it's the same factor. Every day can be given out about lights and yellow balls and white balls and whatever and whatnot. And but at the end of the day, it's the same for both teams. Like, you know, you just get the same 30 minutes either half, like go out and do it. Like, you know, it's simple. It's simple. You look at it that way, like, but they just kind of get focused, get the minds right, don't block out the eyes and just go in and do it and do yourself justice and hopefully get bring the cup home for ourselves again. It's been nice.
Great stuff, Sean. Thanks very much for coming
Thanks a
on.
million, no bother. Thanks, Paul.
In part two of the show, I'm now joined by former Loughrea hurler John Dooley. John, first off, like all Loughrea supporters, delighted to be back here again and looking forward to another county final.
Yeah, something you could get used to it, all right. Yeah, it's a great week. It's fantastic excitement. Um, we're playing near neighbours. You couldn't want it any other way, you know. But yeah, we're great excitement. The town is decked out very well in blue and gold, and great fundraising efforts going on, and the whole. It's a great excitement. Great excitement.
Looking at the club overall, it's nearly similar to Thomas's in one sense. Even if you take the senior out of it, your minors had a good year. Your under 20s came so close in that classic against Warren Murray. I think was it your junior E's won there a couple of weeks ago. Your junior A's got to the final but came up short against Thomas's. So it's been a great year for the club so far.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. Getting to the deep end of nearly every competition we're playing in, which is what you want, and sort of building for the seniors. But yeah, very happy with our under 20s. They were quite a young team. The pin or more back for two matches. Very, very unlucky to lose at the end. Our junior A's did great to get to the final considering the amount of players they lost throughout the year. But that was a strong Thomas's team in the junior A final, and our juniories, the old legends, and they they had a great win. Now, great lift for the club. Like, so it's nice to get some silverware in. When you are getting to the business end of championship, it's nice to win something. So yeah, hopefully it'll all lead up now to Saturday where we can hopefully claim the cup, and it'll be a very, very successful year.
I've probably been asking Loughrea people this question, but do you feel anything has changed for Loughrea this year now as county champions?
Um, I don't know. I don't know. Was there a bit of maybe a hangover at the start of the year? They weren't going the greatest. They had a Midland League campaign. They got well beaten in a semi-final, but every day they've gone out, they seem to have improved a bit every day, and it's sort of I think probably when you have 1-1, you sort of that bit of confidence comes in. There's less panic. Like the Crawford game was probably a real eye opener for them, where they needed to get to. But yeah, like they hurled a great second half against Clarenbridge. Never panicked. I thought they were well in control against Thurlock Moor. They really managed the conditions, and the Thurlock are a really strong team. Like so, but I don't think we ever looked in trouble. So I think maybe in other years before we won one, those games might have gone against them. So yeah, I suppose that's probably the biggest change we've seen from last year.
They're probably, if you even take it back to last year, you could just even see by the emotion and everything that went on. It was just sheer relief to get your third title last year.
I was, yeah, well, like we've had an awful amount of heartbreak down through the years. Like I don't know what was six finals or something we lost, and an awful lot of them since we won the previous one. So, and like this huge amount of work goes into the seniors, but the whole club in general, like, and this everyone kind of has a part to play. And when the final whistle went, it was nearly more relief than elation for a while. Yeah, but incredible scenes at the homecoming, and for the couple of few days after it, there was unbelievable celebrations, and yeah, it was a special time. It was a special time.
You've obviously been with Tommy Kelly and this management previously, but what do you feel? I suppose Tommy Kelly, Gavin Keary, Shane Cusack, and these fellas do to get that that they've done to get the most out of this Loughrea grip.
Yeah, yeah, like sure, we're blessed to have a group, and like the majority of them are homegrown guys. They've all hurled, and I suppose when they have gone through it themselves and they've lost finals, they've won finals, like there's a level of experience there, first of all, and plus there's like they're Loughrea men through and through, those all those guys, like they live and breathe hurling. But besides that, like they are, they're so tuned in to what's going on in the game. They're so meticulous in their preparations. Like the coaching sessions are top class, and I know Kieran Corcoran has helps out there as he's one of the other coaches. But we have a really good core group in that management team that are all ex-Loughrea hurlers, and you know, but yeah, so passion meets excellent preparation, and we're seeing the results from it. So long may it continue.
They've obviously been able to add someone into the management team in the recent few years in John Conlon, and I can only imagine what that's done as well for the younger fellows. I suppose trying to make their breakthrough on this Loughrea team as well.
Yeah, sure. Like if you don't listen to John Conlon, what are you at? Like he's done everything in the game. He's an absolute warrior. But always, I wouldn't know John now, but he seemed like a really intelligent hurler. Like he's played in every line for Clare. He's full forward, half back, and excelled in all of them. And he's won All Irelands, he's won All Stars and everything. So any sort of knowledge that he can impart on the younger lads and the older lads as well. He's been a massive addition to the setup there, and he's really bought into it as well, I believe. And it's great to have him. It's great to have him.
It's funny when some people look at Loughrea in the Roll of Honour and they see the list of titles. It's three. It's 1941, 2006, and 2024. A lot of people would think that there'd be more county titles there.
Yes, we think there should be more too. Um, yeah, like I suppose we've been at the business end since around 1999, like so, and really we should have more. Now we're desperately unlucky. We come up against some fantastic teams, like so when we were starting off in that run, like the Sarsies were still knocking around. Athenry were there, and then she had Portumna were in the pomp, and then sure even like Clarenbridge as well. The year they went on won All Ireland, the better than one, and then we just caught the start of the St Thomas's era, you could call it. But yeah, we'd like to have more, but I suppose you sort of they're awful hard one. You know, there's no two ways about it. They're really really hard ones. So we're lucky to have three. A lot of clubs don't have any. So uh, hopefully we'll add to it now on Saturday.
Even when you think of that, a lot of clubs would have to have three, and I suppose it's probably not entering your mind, but the potential here to back, it would be enormous for the club.
Oh, it would, yeah. Like you know, there's all saying there like it takes a good team to win one and a great team to do back to back. I'm sure the lads aren't looking at it that way. They're just looking at what's in front of them and just trying to get as many wins as they can. Uh, you know, like you look at Thomas's there, I don't know, they weren't, I don't know if they have any, they were Peters well or something before, but like they got a good crop together and they really, really made hay. So, you know, so when you have a good team, good management, you just try to win as much as you can. And, you know, we've only got one to date with this current crop. Hopefully now we can add one more. Back to back would be great, you know. But we'll take it one at a time.
Looking throughout the group campaign, there's obviously wins against Kilkenarn and Clonmerdale. It probably wasn't an easy thing to say at the time, but do you think maybe that defeat was to Craughwell was maybe the making of Loughrea's season?
Oh yeah, like you know, the geez, Crowell were super in the day. Our lads were, they were a bit below, I wouldn't, they were below par, but you know they weren't let hurl that day. And quite often, it's great to get a kick like that in a group game, you know. And especially with the way the championship format is now, you get a week and you recover and you get back on the saddle again. But yeah, I'd say they had a few tough days and tough video sessions and stuff after that game. But yeah, they've really kicked on from there, you know, and it was probably a blessing in disguise in one way. So
Yeah, you look at it then, the Mike Cullen game, they really got things back on track. But the character that day against Clembridge, when it really looked like in that first half, where it was really going against them, but in fairness, they showed remarkable character to dig that result out then against Clembridge.
they did, yeah, and you know, I was at that game and well, Clarenbridge, they were 5 or 6 up at half time after playing into a strong breeze. And I remember thinking, geez, this could get ugly, the way Clarenbridge were playing. But credit to our lads, they never panicked. They stayed ticking away at the scoreboard. They got the goal at the right time and they kicked on. They just showed nerves of steel. Tiernan had probably one of his finest hours in the Loughrea jersey that day. And you know, for the last 15 minutes, they really, really stormed into it. And you know, if the game went on for another 10 minutes, they could have won it by a lot more, you know. But yeah, there's just no panic, no panic. Stay going, keep the scoreboard ticking. And yeah, very proud of them that day now, actually. Very, very proud of them.
The Turlock game then, I know it was close for a finish, but it sort of did always feel like Loughrea were always going to win that game. Never really looked in any doubt like they were going to lose it, and it probably was their most, I suppose, controlled performance of the year.
Yeah, I was very impressed. I thought it was the best they'd hurled in a long time. And that's even counting some of the games last year. I just thought that they they really handled the conditions well. I thought that their homework done in Thurlock more. They tied up a lot of their explosive runners, you know, and didn't let Thurlock get that running game going. And as I said, like it was 2 points in the end, or it was five in the end, but they got it back to two. But you know, we never looked in danger at the back. I just thought it was a very measured performance. They they had very few wides. They kept things tight and they nullified their big threats. And if you can do that, you'll win most games. Like, but yeah, it was a great win. The conditions were atrocious. And that's what impressed me a lot with them that day. Now they handled those conditions and their hurling was slick. Um, so yeah, that was a great win. That was because that's a really really good Thurlock side. And they'd have serious ambitions of winning the county title soon. But I thought we controlled the game very well.
Looking then at obviously the county final coming up, you still look at this Loughrea team and you see the leaders like Paul Hubban, Johnny Cohen at the back, Garage Loughnane in goals, Ian Hanrahan there around the middle. There's still four or five, I suppose maybe they're the more experienced players on this team, but they're still such key players for Loughrea, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah, and you mentioned especially like Paul and Johnny and Sean Sweeney and Neil, like they've had an awful lot of heartache, it's not easy for them to say coming back and back, but they're real leaders in that dressing room, um, they and despite their advancing years, they're still hurling really really well, um, but yeah, like this. You're sort of trying to look then to the next group of leaders coming behind them, and you mentioned a couple of them, Garrod and Joe Mooney and uh, Cam and Killian and stuff like that, lads like that. They're really stepping up and following the guys' leadership, and sure they're going to be the guys taking over when the older guys finish up. But yeah, we've a lot of leaders on the pitch. We're not going to be found wanting there anyway. Leadership.
Players then who are, I suppose, they stepping up now and I suppose into their mid-20s, the likes of Tiernan Killeen, Shane Morgan, Kieran Hanrahan, even Cullen Killeen, the last like Darren Shaughnessy, all having outstanding seasons.
Yeah, yeah, they are. They're coming good. Cully's a great bit of stuff. Like his energy is endless. His hunger for the ball. Darren Shocks, he did injury problems earlier on in the year. He seems to be coming into form. Tiernan is grown into a great leader. He's a Galway hurler, like, and he's shown it. In fairness to him now, and and Shane Morgan has, he's stepped into centre back there the last few years. He looks like a lad that's in it for a long time. And Hansy at the back, sure. Hansy's a Rolls Royce of a player. He's a class act, So we've good young lads in the squad there, and if they can keep it together, and hopefully we'll be at the top end of the things for a good few years to come.
It really does feel like then when you've had Vince Morgan come in to attack Anthony Burns as well, who's obviously been such a crucial player over the last 2 years. Jamie Ryan come back to full fitness this year. Martin McManus as well. That the strength and depth is really there now in this Loughrea panel.
Oh yeah, and do you know what, you need it, like like you see Thomas is there, like the guys they're bringing on, Carl Burke and Damien Finnerty and stuff, like the level of attrition in these games now is, that you need these guys. You need to be able to bring on guys that definitely don't weaken things, but might even strengthen things, And like, I wouldn't like to be picking either team on for Saturday night. Thomas's or Loughrea. They're two great squads. And you look at the last four, the top teams that they do have those impact subs that they can bring on, and it's really really needed now, more so than ever. Like, so, yeah. Hopefully now they get their tactical changes right at the right time and bring those guys in so that they can make a big impact in the game.
Do you immediately think back to 2022 when you think of both of these teams?
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. That was a tough day out now. Um, yeah, but sure, it was great at the time. We hadn't been in the final in a long time. Level of excitement. Um, like, as I said, maybe we weren't ready at that time, but we gave a good a good lash at it now. In fairness, there was two great games. A point in it after the second game. You know, yeah, it was a hard one to take now, but yeah, Thomases have wiped our eye a few times now down through the years. So, um, yeah, still hard to talk about that one, but yeah, we'll,
Well,
hopefully we can rectify something on Saturday.
what is the mood like now, John, in the parish and in the town of Loughrea, building up to this one? Thomas's have obviously been, I suppose, when you look back to 22, they obviously give you that bit of heartache, and maybe some people feel like in Loughrea now that maybe now is the time to hold them one.
Yeah, like, but yeah, I suppose the mood in the town is it's one of real excitement. Um, you know, there's nerves. Like you're going in to play a neighbouring team that have won eight finals. Every final they've ever competed in, they've won. They're phenomenal team and community. Um, an awful lot of crossover. You know, like there's intermarriages. There's Sean Sweeney's married to Keen Mahoney's sister. You know, there's all these interconnections. Even I've my young lad is playing in the mini sevens at half time against his first cousin. So yeah, we've been in the shadows now under Thomas's for a long time now, and yeah, it'd be really nice to get one over on them. It really would, yeah.
You talked about it there, and I was only talking about it with Sean Skehill earlier. He was on about two Loughrea lads who gave him a Loughrea flag today in work. But that just shows the rivalry here. A lot of Thomas's fellas would have went to school in Loughrea. They obviously would have met down in even in county squads down through the years and everything. So they know each other inside out, really.
Oh, they do, yeah, they do. Yeah, an awful lot of that's more than half the Thomas's lads would have went to school in Loughrea. As I said, they do their shopping here. A lot of them work here, and oh yeah, that fierce rivalry. But you know what? It's always fairly good natured. You know, never gets too bitter or anything like that, thankfully. But yeah, fierce rivals, fierce familiarity. You know, there's as I said, they like I think even when I said Thomas has made a breakthrough in a minor A final, I don't know, let's say Neil Keary, Johnny Cohn, and Connor Cooney, and like they played in a minor final against each other, and an under 20 final, 21 final a few years later. So these guys have been at loggerheads with each other for the best part of 15 years, like, and they know each other inside out, and said they'd probably go for a few pints together during the week afterwards and stuff, you know. So, yeah, too close for comfort, Paul.
What have you made of them then so far this year, John?
Yeah, sure, Thomas's are a great side. Like they've they had their injury problems, like they hopped through the group handy enough. They had a couple of tricky moments against Athenry, but like you know, Finton came on and Keen Manny's come back. You know, they've really looked solid. You know, they've really tidied things up at the back. They were very lucky against Thomas or Tommy Larkins. They sort of rode their luck a small bit, but I always say if you stay playing till the final minute, every time, which they always do, something will happen. Like you know, you saw it last year when they played Gort, when they played again Tommy Larkins. You know, goal last minute. That's not by accident. Like that's them not panicking. You know, stay going, stay going, stay going. Something will happen. Um, yeah, they were very impressive against Crowell in the semi-final. You know, like you know, the conditions weren't as bad in the first game in the semi-final, but I thought their hurling, their striking was top class. Like, and you know, people people are always often saying, you know, Thomas is they'll slog it out, they'll dog it out, and tell you they'll dog it out with the best of them, but their hurling ability is top class. Like the crispness of their striking, their passing, you know. they'd kill you for a ball, and then they'd pick it up and ping a 40-yard pass. You know, they're really, really, really good. They're really good. And they have some top players. Obviously Conor Cooney, Aina Burke, Victor Manzo. Those guys will hurt you if you don't watch them. Like the Aina Burke is a ridiculous hurler. Like he's, like one of life's great mysteries how he's hasn't made an intercounty senior hurler. Successive managements haven't found a spot for him. He's that good. And Conor Cooney. Like he's different gravy. Like he's a 9 out of 10 free taker. The amount of hard ball he wins, scores he creates. He's just an absolute warrior for them. And then you go back the field, like you've David midfield. He's, people were saying David's getting old or whatever, but he finished out that Athenry game for them. He won that game for them. He was all over the place again against Crowell the last day. He seems to have got an extra bounce back in the last few games. And then they have a really, really solid defence. Like, you've Shane Cooney, Fintan Burke, and like the Keane Mahoney and Jack Head. Those two guys they're pure dogs. Like they're just they'll die rather than give away a score. So yeah, we know we're up against it. Like they're a phenomenal team, and but I think we've a good team as well. So hopefully it'll be a right good battle.
Finally, John, why will Loughrea get over the line on Saturday night?
Why? Yeah, I think we've a lot of scoring threats. We've a lot of scoring. The match winners have been spread fairly evenly throughout all the games. Our defense is beginning to look a bit mean again. After the Crawley game in particular, they've really, really tightened up. Like, I think in the middle third of the field, I think it's going to be 50-50 between the two teams. But I think if our full forward line can get on top of that really good Thomas's full back line, I think that's an area we can get a bit of joy. But trying to take on Keane Mahoney, Jack Head, and Fintan Burke is not an easy day's work. Like, so I think that's where we can win it. We have a nice spread of scorers. Yeah, but it's all on the day. It depends if we turn up. We know Thomas's will turn up. They always do in finals. So we have to turn up and match them and match their intensity and tackling and all of that. And then hopefully, if you can do that, and you've got good forwards on the pitch, you'll start tapping over the points and getting a bit of a lead, hopefully, and hopefully that can bring us home.
Great stuff, John. Thanks very much for your time.
All right, sound, Paul.